What's up, everybody? It's your boy Kevin, aka Groovy Cod. I wanted to talk to you all today about the reason I chose to get into YouTube, and for anyone planning to get into the YouTube business, some tips and advice I can give to you. I also want to discuss if it is even worth doing a YouTube in the first place, because for many people living busy lives, it may not be worth it. So first and foremost, what made me want to do YouTube to begin with? Well, from a very young age, during the start of the internet boom, I had been using YouTube at the very dawn of the internet era. Back when people used MySpace instead of Facebook and MSN Messenger was still a thing, I had spent many hours and many hours of my time watching YouTube videos. I had also watched videos on other websites like Dailymotion, which is also another tube-like video streaming website. I never knew when I was young that YouTube could potentially become a career path or a profession. And for many content creators later in the years, I've seen notable YouTubers like Jeffree Star, Mr. Beast, and FaZe Clan grow into what they've become at this day. Speaking about FaZe Clan in particular, I know almost all their members recently just announced their departure from the team, but I had been a subscriber of them since day one. I've watched them grow from doing everything from trick shot videos to climb the ladder of fame. A lot of their content influenced me becoming a gamer and getting into content creation. So originally when I made my channel, I named myself Groovy COD. The name COD stands for Call of Duty, and the name Groovy, which I was named, this is what people called me when I played Call of Duty. My friends, they all referred to me and known me as Groovy. And as you guys can see, I do have some videos of myself with others at Call of Duty gaming LAN events on my channel. So originally when I made my YouTube channel, I was planning to make my YouTube channel into a gaming channel with a focus on Call of Duty, Battlefield, and other first-person shooters. Believe it or not, I'm actually a huge gamer. I'm very nerdy, and I have a history of making Call of Duty montages. When I started YouTube years ago, I think I was about the age of 16, I had a completely different YouTube channel, which I made only gaming content. I posted everything from Call of Duty montages, trick shots, I did commentaries. My hope was to eventually become a big time pro gamer, streamer, like, the guys in Optic Nation or FaZe Clan. But that dream did not work out for me. There were many young adults that were better at the game Call of Duty than I was, and they created far better content than I did. So it was very competitive and hard to stand out as a streamer or gamer on YouTube. So upon watching many other type of content creators on YouTube, I saw many having success with just simply recording their daily lives and posting them online. Some being interesting things in someone's life, to others more extreme, whether it be them cooking or eating at restaurants, traveling abroad. I then thought to myself, this could be an interesting direction for my channel, because I wouldn't be bound to strictly gaming content. By doing vlogs or by vlogging, there's a bit more flexibility in terms of what I could create and post. So I did end up doing that years ago during the COVID-19 lockdown. I uploaded my first ever vlog to my channel, which was at the Freedom Trucker Convoy or protest in Ottawa. And I thought, hey, let me pull out my camera and start recording. I didn't know what to record or base my video about, but I guess I thought this could be a great way of capturing, a moment of history and even spreading a positive message to viewers. So I continued on that path of doing vlogging. I started off with not so great camera quality, and then I went to shooting with my iPhone camera, which improved the quality drastically. And I started filming in different places like, music festivals, camping trips, local areas known to me in Canada, right? I was just exploring what's around me. Then came my first ever big trip to Southeast Asia. I visited Thailand for the first time in my life. I didn't know what to expect when I arrived there. It was an absolute culture shock to me compared to the life in Canada. When I first arrived in Thailand, I didn't know what it would be like visiting Pattaya. I had only heard and from other YouTube videos that Pattaya, Thailand was a very popular nightlife area of central Thailand. So when I visited Pattaya, I was curious to visit the bars, speak to local Thais working there. And upon checking other YouTube videos before arriving to Thailand, I also heard Thailand was very popular for their gatoys or ladyboys, which is the term you refer them as. And as I had explored different bars in Pattaya City, the adult nightlife scene, it was all very new to me. I was a complete newbie going to Pattaya. I didn't know what a bar fee was. And the first ever trans girl I filmed and I uploaded to my channel, she was my first ever date with a trans woman. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I was extremely nervous with, it being my first time. And when I met her, I thought, hey, since this is the first time in history of me taking a lady boy on a date, maybe it would be a good idea to whip out my iPhone and record our interaction. And she seemed cool with it, and I just took it from there. So, we stayed in contact for a bit after that night, but it didn't last very long. I'd say maybe, 4 months of staying in contact. I didn't know anything about the 3-day rule until later on after hearing about experiences of Pattaya. As many of you know, the bars in Pattaya, you don't want to date bar girls. Don't expect anything from it. They are just working to make a living. Many of the bar girls are simply just in Pattaya to make some money and go back home. You spend the night with them, you have some temporary fun, but that's about it. So I did end up sharing that experience of Pattaya, Thailand to my YouTube channel. And that was the video that pretty much drew in the attention to my YouTube channel. You see, there's seems to be a huge interest or a desire in dating trans women, which is why I believe that video gained so much viewers and hit an algorithm. So, I didn't just stop there. I went back to Thailand the second time to film more interactions with ladyboys. And since that was, the sort of content my viewers asked for and which gained popularity on my channel, I just ended up doing it. So why do I prefer dating ladyboys? I'll discuss that later on in another video to my channel. I won't get too much into detail on this one. So, after my Thailand experience, I decided to travel somewhere different, and that was Mexico. And, for anyone planning on traveling to Mexico right now isn't the best time. I would hold off on doing it. As some of you may already know, there's a situation that just recently unfolded in Mexico with the cartel boss being killed. The country's in a state of emergency, and there are many tourists currently, stranded on resorts, or they must seek, close by shelter. I did go to Cancun, Mexico with my mother last year, and it was just a different experience I wanted to share with my viewers on my YouTube channel. I wanted to switch up my content from just Thailand videos to something a little different and to show, what Mexico had to offer. This was my first time ever visiting an all-inclusive resort. So both me and my mother, we had an amazing time on the resort. We had a great highlight of Cancun, Mexico. And I do have some more videos I made in Cancun, Mexico. I didn't really get a chance to upload them to my channel, but I will be uploading them very soon to my channel. So after my time of traveling to Thailand, Mexico, dating a bar girl and partying with ladyboys, I was still determined to find, real love. That eventually led me to visit the Philippines. You can all see the videos I've created there. They're still on my channel. So as I'm making this video, I'm currently back in my home country in Canada. It is somewhat challenging for me to make content for YouTube here in Canada because, we have very long winters. There's also not much to record other than maybe going on food tours around the city, doing winter or summer activities. I would say if you have a niche for your channel, most of your engagement will be coming from that niche. If you post things that are, outside of that niche, or they might be irrelevant, it would be much harder for you gaining the views on your videos. Not only did I go from posting gaming content to posting ladyboys, I did food vlogs. I recorded myself at music festivals in Mexico on a resort. So not everyone may have an interest to see all of that. So that's why it's very important to pick, a niche and stick with that, just to have, better success and engagement on your YouTube channel. To be quite honest, I like to post my life in general to my YouTube channel for the world to watch. They can experience, what I experienced through the screen. And it seems that, the Thailand videos I made is what brought in almost most or all of my viewers to my channel. You always have some videos uploaded that will do better than others. What matters most is that you post something that can keep your audience retention up, and it's something you have a strong interest, desire, or passion for. That's the beauty of doing vlogs. When you do vlogs, you can pretty much post anything you want. Doesn't have to be bound to just one type of video. The purpose of vlogging is to share experiences, and some of these experience to people, it could be almost educational to them in a way. And that's why I chose the direction of doing personal vlogging. Not all of my videos on my channel are about Thailand. I posted other countries simply to diversify the content on my channel. I don't want it to be too repetitive. And I think if you make content that's too repetitive, people may tend to get bored of it, and eventually demand something new. So if you are a first-time content creator, my advice to you would be to ensure you pick the right niche for your channel. You don't want a niche that would get boring quick. You also want to try to upload consistently, quality content. You don't have to be the greatest at editing. Don't pick a niche that is difficult for you to maintain. Many people may subscribe to your channel because of your niche. So, you want to be selective in what you choose. Also, you do not want to be afraid to switch up your content if you absolutely need to. You see, right now I'm making this video. I'm starting to make a shift in my content to a more personal type of content with my audience, so you can all get to know me better. It can be difficult at times vlogging real life interactions and speaking directly into the camera, such as I'm doing now. By making these videos here, I have more time to rehearse and edit them and know exactly what to say when I'm speaking into the camera. Can you make good money from doing YouTube? Well, when you first start off, you might not make much or even anything. Once you hit YouTube monetization, that's when you can look forward to making, some actual money off YouTube. Whether it's through ad revenue, donations, sponsors, or linking a Shopify account, to sell, merchandise. The possibilities are endless once you become monetized for your YouTube channel. If you have videos that get hit with a copyright for music that you don't own, cases are this happens with music playing in the background. You have no control over it. You will not earn anything on those videos if that's the case. So it can be very challenging to create videos for YouTube and not get hit with a strike. You also want to be mindful of following YouTube guidelines when you are posting. YouTube takes their guidelines very serious. So when you start off with your channel, it might not be a main source of income for a while, but as time grows and your channel grows, it's simply a work in progress. You hit monetization, you make videos more engaging with each upload, you create attractive thumbnails, you create titles that stand out that people want to click on. Eventually you'll get there. So if you ask me if doing YouTube is worth it, it can absolutely be worth it if you put in the time and effort. If it is not interfering with your work or personal life, it can be a great side hustle or even potential main source of income. I would say never give up on your hopes and dreams. Never stop posting, even if you don't get much views. YouTube may not be for everyone, And if you ever feel it's becoming too draining, too much of a task to consistently upload, or it takes away too much from your personal life, then know when to take a break, and come back to it. Don't feel obligated like you have to post. YouTube can be like a job. If you treat it like a job, it will become a job. If you treat it like a hobby, it becomes a hobby. So, whatever energy you put into creating content, it is exactly what you get in the outcome. So, that's what I can say about my experience personally of doing YouTube. If you guys would like to see more videos on topics such as this, leave me a comment down below. And if you liked what I said in this video, you can drop a like down below. Thank you all, and see you all next time. Peace out.